Hey guys, thanks so much for taking time to watch this video. I am Tisha Michelle, a proud member of Pan Society. Right, and today I want to talk to you about my most recent experience being on a panel. So, about 2 weeks ago, I was on a panel at a youth forum. It was great. It was seven of us, and I was really honored actually to be on that panel because I had so many amazing people in their career that were, that was next to me. I was the youngest person that was there, and my story was slightly, not even gonna say slightly, like a lot different than everyone up there, but that was okay. That was the whole point of me being up there, right? And there's so many things that I got from that. So I just wanted to share a couple of things with you. So one, I didn't know any of the people that were on the panel. Actually, I hadn't even heard of any of them. However, the very first person that walked in, and I was there first, and I went to speak to her, and then she was like, I know you, and I was like a deer in the headlights, like, how do I not know you? And she said we had been emailing back and forth, sometimes. She said it was something about nursing and with the churches, and I was like, oh, because at one point I owned a home care agency, and I reached out to churches in regards to setting up and coming out there to do free blood pressure checks. So I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But she was like, when she seen the name and the email address, she was like, I know her. Like, we emailed back and forth before. So that was pretty cool in itself because you never know how you will, reconnect with someone, later on, right? So the second was one of the guys that was on the panel. It's older than me. As like I said, I was the youngest person, and he was in a suit, and he was like kind of looking around at us. So he was like, "Oh man, if it was up to me, I would have came in here in some shorts and just like a t-shirt." And I said, "Well, it was up to you." He's like, well, no, well, it wasn't. She said we were gonna be speaking to the kids, so I had to give off that impression. So I didn't say anything else because I could have went into this like, be you, be authentic, da da da. But I was like, I'm not gonna go there. I said my first part, right? So the thing about that I pulled is that, do we want to be relatable and honest, or do we just want to make some made up impression for other people? To think about that. So that same guy, this is before we get started and stuff. So he comes up to me and he extends his hand and he introduces himself, and he goes, as he's introducing himself, he goes, "And you are from what organization?" And I said, "Organization of myself." And he just was like, oh. I was like, "Yeah, I work for myself. I'm representing myself. I'm representing the BU Academy. I'm the founder of that." He was like, oh, okay, all right, I hear that. And that was that. So what I took from that was, that's that box mentality, right? So when he introduced himself to me, he automatically thought that I was sent there to represent an organization. But I was brought there to represent myself, who I am. And it took him back because he really didn't know what to say when I said the organization of myself. Like here, he's like, oh, very, very confused. Well, why? Why are people so confused by that? Because this is a part of what society is that, you're not really representing yourself. You're representing something else. And here I come, this disruptor. I'm representing myself. So then we get on to the panel, right? And we're talking, and one of the questions was, what would you, speaking to the kids, would you say about mentoring and being a mentor or having a mentor? So everyone on there was just like their mom and their dad was their mentor, and you gotta listen to your mom, you gotta listen to your dad, and it was interesting because what I got from that was, you're talking at kids, and kids don't like they don't like to be talked at. That was one. And then two, everybody's situation is not the same. Everybody doesn't grow up with the mom and the dad, and or if they do, they might not have their best interests there. So at that point, you're not relatable, and this kid shut down. So when it was my turn, and I said, from my mentors, I said, everybody that I met in my life up until this point now. And every experience that I've had in my life was my mentor. I've learned something from everybody and everything. You know, a little bit from here, a little bit from here. I learned, you know, some things not to do, you know, based off certain people in my life. And then I said, however, I do believe that it's important to find, you know, a mentor or mentors, you know, and somebody, one, that you feel is relatable, and then two, that it also encourages you to be who you are. And from that, more questions came, you know, from me saying that, and questions and statements. And that's what even the adults in there were saying, was like, some of these children here or that aren't here don't have the mom and the dad, and they do need someone that is relatable, and that they really appreciated me saying that. And when I was listening to the bios and introducing all the people up there, there was this one lady who was like the president of the NAACP, and she was the first African American woman to be awarded, and she was awarded for like 20 years. You know, there was a playwright man that was on there. There was a lot of first of everything, and I was super honored up there to be up there with them, because they all had careers, and they were all with first of this and first of that, and it was great. And then here I am, the youngest person on there, the only entrepreneur on there, and the one with the background of being quote unquote different. And in that moment, I realized to 100% everything that I went through, every experience I had, every trial, tribulation, struggle, everything that I have went through was from moments like that day, was to be this new representation out here. Because those days of the people that were up there, they were amazing, don't get me wrong, they were amazing, they were great. But people now, my generation or under, they cannot relate to that. So, quote unquote, I'm different, you know, but I'm so relatable. And I really had to step back and just be, you know, grateful and say thank you to the universe for all the experience that I went through, because of the things that I kept to myself and thought that I was different, or I wasn't, you know, less than. Those things that I wanted to hide were the same things that are now allowed me to be on a panel with such prestigious people like that. And I was like, thank you, thank you. And that's all I kept saying was thank you. So I wanted to share that experience with you, just for all the little different things that I pulled out of that. And hopefully you'll be able to pull something out of that, and to not look at your struggles and stuff as mistakes, and look at them as experiences, and appreciate everything that you've learned, that you're still learning, that you still, you know, things that you gonna continue to learn, you know, if you don't get it right the first time. But to look at them as, you will have those moments where it will all truly make sense, and you will be able to serve and help others. So I hope you're able to resonate or pull something out of this. Thank you again for taking time to watch this video. If you want any more information about PAN, then you can click below on the link, as well as you can click below and you can find more information about myself, and if you want to connect with me more. Until next time, bye.